Granry's down this way.
Eh? Oh, Sam.
Morning, sir. For a minute, I thought you didn't recognize me there.
After 20 years, I should.
You keeping well, sir?
I'm all right. Never you mind about me.
Well, last Saturday, our little get-together for young Vern's birthday party, you said you was going to drop in.
Oh? Yes, so Saturday. I'm sorry, Sam. Tell Vern I'm sorry.
Well, there's no harm done. Front gate's open anytime.
Thank you, Sam. I'm just still trying to get used to things around the house.
Oh, wife says if there's anything she can do to help, like cooking or cleaning or anything like that.
No, the maid's looking after me, Sam. Thank you. Still, it's not quite the same.
Yeah, she was a real fine lady, Mrs. Emily. We're all going to miss her. Well, I guess it's all right for you to be late for work, Mr. Sturgis, but I better get a move on.
Good morning, Mr.
Hey.
John?
I couldn't wait for you any longer yesterday, so I left those calf hide samples on your desk. Could you, check through them when you get down there?
Fine.
They're stacked in order of grade. We've already checked through them.
Well, then there's no need for me to check them out, is there?
Well, I'd like you to do just the same, since you weren't part of the discussion. James. I can't get you to sit on any work meetings anymore.
Because you're all talking Greek.
That's not true, and it's silly of you to say so. I've left you openings so that you could say as much as any of us.
Left me open.
I have to go to Buffalo for a few days. Go into work, will you, James? You've got to. That's all there is to it.
Morning.
What's the matter with you? Don't you like him anymore?
Look, when a person tells you you're not fit to be seen with...
Now,
you...
when did he ever say that? All Edgar's ever said to you is don't get any fancy notions about you and him. You don't know when people are being kind to you and when they isn't. They're not. They isn't.
The veteran waits. The bad smell of violets.
Mrs. Spicer.
Spicer.
From New Brunswick.
New Brunswick.
She's here visiting
My
us.
sister, Miriam.
Yes, I know her.
Yes, I know. We'd never kept in touch with each other as much as we should have. But now that we've both lost our husbands, we've only ourselves to turn to.
I understand. Indeed, I do. One night, Mrs. Spicer.
Lottie. Perhaps.
Edgar. Thank you. I'll take you up. The Laurier room?
The Laurier room. Now, is he better than me?
We never pretended to be. Look, he's never said anything. Edgar has respect for you and me if you only knew it. We've talked about this lots of times.
Yeah, I imagine you have.
Yeah, well, imagining's your trouble.
I've seen the other side, thank you.
What?
Did I ever tell you the time I was given a lemon ice by a white-haired man on a Winnipeg lake and never got a chance to eat it?
Hello, all.
Hello.
Morning. That'd be nice.
Can a working man get a glass of 100-proof water here?
Yes, of course. Anyway, I'll be gone in a day or two.
Gone? What's this now?
Just gonna get out of this place. Buy a thing or two. Look in shops.
Toronto? Toronto, eh?
Hmm. Perhaps. Don't know yet.
Good for you, Nancy.
It's nice to get away sometimes, isn't it?
Certainly is. especially when it's for pleasure. I'm off to Buffalo on business tomorrow.
Oh?
Thank you, miss.
You're welcome, sir.
Come here, girls. Come on. Let me look at you. No, that's fine. Fine. Good. Good. Now you'll write to me every week, and you'll be back home as soon as anything. I've never been to Hamilton myself. And, well, they say the school there's as good as anywhere.
I'll be back day after tomorrow, sir. You'll be all right, won't you?
Indeed. Off you go, then.
She doesn't want to go. I never said that. She's afraid, she said. I did not. You're lying again. She's such a stinking liar.
Now then, that's enough. I must say certain words have found their way into this family that were never there before and won't be again. If your mother were alive, she'd be very...
Yes, Father. Goodbye, Father.
Look out for each other.
Come along, children.
You'll come see us, won't you?
Of course.
When?
At the end of the month.
Father.
I promise. Right, right. Oh, is it Clara? Yes, of course it is. Oh, do come in, do.
Oh, I've left a good bit of mud on your step, I'm afraid.
Well, the roads will need tending to before too
Oh,
long.
they're not roads at all anymore. It'd be a sight better just to board them over, it seems to me. Mr. Laidlaw brought me down a good bit of venison.
Eh?
Will you come down and join me and the children for supper?
Oh, no, I don't believe I can. Thank you anyway.
Well, just look at the two of us. Whenever I step outside our house, I feel like a great black crow in the middle of someone's cornfield. And now I see there are two of us in town on this bright autumn day. We should be tired of mourning by now, James.
What's that?
We should be tired of mourning, is what I said.
I thank you not to trespass on my grief in such a thoughtless way.
Yes. Whatever gave me the wild notion to say that, I wonder?
I don't know, I'm sure.
I'm sure dear Emily would want you to feel the same way.
Please.
She would, James. She wouldn't want you to grieve forever.
Leave it now.
You're grieving for yourself as well. Your beloved tannery. It's gone, hasn't it, James?
By leaps and bounds, very big, but John has that well under control.
Yes. Yes, he has. I've made you cross by my visit, and I certainly didn't mean to do that.
And when you get home, you might prepare one of my mother's wild celery sedatives for yourself. It'll help calm you down for the rest of the day.
Yes, James.
Taxi. When you coming back?
Before long.
Oh, you make sure you do.
Hello?
Morning, Nancy.
All right, Harry, let's go.
I've been meaning to drop in and see old Duff more often than I have. 45, 46. Well, you folks are always so busy over there. 47, 48. Can't even seem to take time to talk anymore. 49, 50. But still, it's nice to see Duff's handsome daughter brightening up the old streets. Isn't it, John?
Oh, that's a fact, Cecil. That for me, too?
Oh, sure is. Sorry, no paper.
You were asking?
Yes, if you could name me a middle-priced hotel in Toronto. Doesn't have to be fancy, because I'll be out and about most of the time.
Well, there's the Prince Edward, the Royal Albion. They're a good range, I suppose. I'm not much of a hotel man myself. The Mafeking excluded, of course. Say, Edgar's doing a real job down there, isn't he?
Uh-huh. Well, I am a real hotel person. I love using up all that stuff that doesn't belong to you. I like that. I don't know why I'm going, really. I don't know Toronto very well.
Like you said, it's nice to get away once in a while.
Yes. Do you like Buffalo?
It's all right.
Buffalo?
Visiting your poor Emily's grave. Do try to dress it up a bit with fresh posies when you get the time, James.
I intend to, Mother.
When?
Well, pretty soon, perhaps before tea time.
Do try to keep yourself tidy. Your father, Martin Wellington Sturgis, never went without a very close shave and fresh collars. So do try, James. Things are going so well. These are vigorous days, aren't they, James? Lots of keeping up to do, or it'll all pull away without us.
You've nothing to worry about, Mother, neither do I, for that matter. If anything, we'll be pulled along right with it. Soon we'll have no voice, and what happens? Have you thought about that, Mother?
I'll always have a voice.
But will anyone hear?
Well, good for you.
Oh, you're a pretty sight.
Yes, I know. And I have a few stingers elsewhere, let me tell you.
Why did you say good for you?
Well, for having forsaken your enslavement up at John Trevelyan's and come out to play with the rest of us good-for-nothings.
I have to be back very soon.
Oh, I see.
What have you found there?
Ants along parade. See?
I'll find her a ladybug. That's her favorite.
Oh, is it now? You been spying again?
Have you seen Father's new motor car yet, Sheila?
No, hard not to see. Isn't it proud looking?
Does Mr. Sutcliffe still have his? What? Oh. Well, does he?
No. Stay here is longer than anywhere else, isn't it? Don't tell me I'm wrong.
Well, my father, Martin Wellington Sturgis, was fond of saying that each week was a lifetime. Mondays were the newly born, brought to life by the sounds of God's mighty hammer hard at work. And Tuesdays...
Are you gonna go through the whole week?
I thought I might. Tuesdays...
But I've only got a few more minutes.
Oh, well, all right. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays were tired old men.
Thank you.
I hope he didn't hear me rushing through his week like that. Anyway, the time will go quickly enough. Don't you worry.
I'm not worried.
Oh, fine. Look, wasn't that John?
Yes.
right, Harry.
Where'd you go with him? Answer your father.
Buffalo, I think.
Good God, save us. Save me. Don't let Edgar hear about this. He'll strangle the pair of us. Look, you're going to be a good girl. You're going to be a good, decent girl. The shame.
I'll squash you with this iron if you lay your hands on me one more time.
Oh, we'll be tied to the tracks. We'll be spiked, stoned, and lashed at the town hall steps and torn apart by Sturgis horses. You mark my words. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to my room. That's what I'm going to do. With Father.
You wouldn't mind finding something for yourself to do, would you, Duff?
Oh, no. Everything, all right, Edgar? Hey? Yeah, well, I'll just get some medicine and... Yeah. And, a spoon.
You take that just as well out in the lobby.
Oh, yeah. Take it easy, Edgar. She's all I got. And I'm all she's got. The truth now. Remember what your father always taught you.
What he always taught. Did you hear that?
It's what I saw. Or thought I saw that we're going to have words about.
Well, are you sure you're the right one to talk to me?
I beg your pardon.
As far as I hear, you've unbuckled your belt to the whole countryside. Is that the fashion? Well, it's not mine. I belong only to me. So I intend to treat myself, right or wrong. And I'll judge myself when I get the time.
Oh, it's understandable you wouldn't want anyone else to judge you.
Certainly not you.
That's fine, because I have someone else to worry about at the moment anyway.
And they come first.
They do, yes. But I would like to know one thing. Why would you and Mr. Trevelyan had come back to town together? You and your new dress?
Why not? We left together. And why shouldn't he be seen with me? What's wrong with me?
I'm sorry. I feel very, very badly about you.
I think we should both stop worrying about the whole thing.
That makes me worry all the more.
Why?
Because there's Clara. That's who comes first now. The woman who hasn't done anything to anyone, but is going to have to go through the whole thing right along with you.
If she could hear us now, she'd probably laugh.
You'd have good reason never to laugh again.
Look, Edgar, I'm not a bad girl. I'm not. If I were to tell you...
No.
Would you please hold me?
Now.
You'd do that even for an animal, wouldn't you?
Oh. All right. Shh. Now. You spend some time in your room now. Are you all right? Didn't mean anything by that, did you?
Nothing at all, sir.
Clara?
Boy. I thought it might be one of the children.
No, they've got some kind of new game outside.
I thought you'd go straight down to work. It's only the middle of the day.
I thought I'd stay home instead. Just felt like it.
I see. Oh, shoes.
Now, that's an example of what the Brubaker people can come up with. Of course, it's only a very small part of the organization, run mostly by women.
You're a bit delicate for Mr. Brubaker's fat fingers.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean.
It's beginning to rain, so I'll have to do it for you.
All right, children, I think I have to go.
You sit down there. No,
No.
Father, you sit down beside Mother.
All right, just for a minute.
Remember everything we... Ladies and gentlemen, the decision of poor blind Mary. Who can that be? Shh. I know I heard something. Is it Snoot, my cat? Meow. Oh, that's good. Hello, Snoot, you naughty thing. You shouldn't have left me alone. Ha! You're not Snoot.
No, ha!
Who are you? Speak up.
You'll never know.
That's because I'm blind.
Where's your money?
I am also very poor. There's only myself, my dolly, Snoot, my cat, and the picture on the wall of my dear mother, and of course my father's diamond pin. Wait! Do you see that trap door over in the corner? What is on poor blind Mary's mind? And can she fool Black Harry? To be concluded tomorrow after school.
Very good. Very good, children.
It's only 3 o'clock. You could get in 2 good hours' work yet this afternoon.
I suppose I could, yes. I do feel a bit sly, relaxing at home while the rest forge away.
That's very good. Very good. And you've not yet had all 6 rooms going at the same time, you say?
No, sir.
I remember this place going up. Used to be a trapdoor, it seems to me.
Oh, yes. Still there. Boarded up now. It's way over there on the other side.
Yeah, oh, it would be. Used to crawl up there, a few of us children. Well, the whole backside of it was open, you see, not finished. And we'd clamber along the trapdoor. Builders weren't very pleased, as you might imagine.
And the bull?
Eh?
Old Fred Davenport's bull. How you and Billy Owen and a few others would tantalize it and get it going in circles till it was cross-eyed and cross-legged.
What? Eh? Well, probably. I managed to act up a bit, I suppose. For a while. Yeah. But this thing now, Edgar.
Well, the factory and so on.
Yeah, the way things have
Yes.
been going.
Well, I have to say, though not having been a tannery man myself, you've certainly jumped ahead.
Well, we've come right along, haven't we?
Well, that you have. Done a great job there, James. Old Martin would have been pleased as punch.
Do you think so? Hard work, though.
Don't I know it? You haven't stopped.
Well, once we knew the direction we were going, and we just couldn't afford to slow down, could we? We had to keep the old barrel going, so to speak.
Yes, this is the longest you've sat down ever, I suppose. Is it?
Oh, you've things to do.
No, heavens, no, not me. I was just mentioning it, that's all.
Yes. Oh, I must say I've eased off a tiny bit from the way I used to be.
Yes. I've noticed that, now that you mention it.
Trouble is, down there... Now, you take John. John can get his brains and hands going at the same time. I have quite a bit of a job to keep up, let me tell you.
Can't believe that.
You'd be surprised. Oh, not that I'm not able to put in a full day, but that's a good mind John has, Edgar. Never would have given credit for him to before, but he's
tease him a lot, as you know, in fact. But he knows he's good. Seems like he just never stops learning. He gets a problem in the morning, and the same afternoon he's got it all figured out. But with myself, well, I can't put this to work very well.
Oh, well, you never used to have to worry about other people. You did the job all on your own.
No, not all that. I couldn't do all that on my own. Truth of it is, I'm just not smart enough.
Oh, all right, James. Don't be ridiculous.
Don't tell me not to be ridiculous. I'm not smart enough, I said. I know what I can do and not do. And I can't keep up with all that's going on down there at the factory. That's all there is to it.
I have enormous admiration for you, James. Yes, sir. Enormous admiration. I always did have. You never catch me saying it, though. Didn't want you to have to go out and buy a bigger hat. It's true, just the same. You've got quality, James. Not many left that have. Our father's gone. And Harrison's gone. And Emily is gone. So have a good few more, eh, James?
We have to go. All of us.
Yes, well then. Well then, let's hold on to a few things. James, let's stop and think and rest a bit. You think you're not clever enough for that damn place the way it is now? The Sturgis Tannery did well. And who made it happen? Who made it happen? Who handed all of that over to John and Brubaker and the others so as they could build from it? James. Who couldn't build from it? You might as well have tied it all up like a present. But now, James, right now, what's more important now? You or the shoes you walk around in? You, James? Or your place of work?
I am Edgar. But it does strike me, I didn't get all the quality.
And I can't draw a straight line. Look at that.
Isn't that lovely work?
Oh, it's just as if it came that way, you know. Nobody ever laid a human hand on it anywhere. I often wondered why things like this were done.
We used to do it.
Really?
Oh, when I first arrived here and settled. Edgar's father used to do that sort of work. And then it shrunk till it was almost nothing more than a sideline. Bigger business took over, and my Martin gave it up altogether, never touched it again.
And the work was as good as that, did you say?
Every bit as good. Ask James. He always wanted to revive that side of the business.
Ah, stick grand. Do you want another cup of tea?
No, dear.
Well, Mrs. Sturgis, I can't get over you climbing all those stairs to come and see me.
Well, I wanted to see where John was hiding you. You're satisfied here, are you?
Oh, yes. Here I am, and I perform me multiplications as neat as you please, as if I'd been taught them, and I come out right every time.
Oh, I knew it.
Well, not many people come to see me up here, but himself can manage it once a day.
John?
No, Edgar. He caught a mouse for me yesterday morning.
Oh, mouse.
Well, now this is a red letter day. I got two visitors at the same time.
Hello, dear.
Hello, you two. Well, I said I'd find you up here.
Tea, Clara?
No, thank you, but I'll sit down for a minute. Mother Sturgis, have you seen James?
Yes, often. Why?
Today?
Not today.
Well, I have, and I think you should talk to him.
I have talked to him. We talk often.
Well, I know you do, but James just isn't himself.
Oh, of course he is. He has the weight of his work on his back. That hasn't changed.
He hasn't been going to his work.
Oh? I will have that cup of tea if I may.
Yes, of course. Oh, Clara, did you see this? Oh, isn't that really something? Did John bring you this from Buffalo? Yes.
I was just telling Sheila, we used to do that sort of work.
Yes, I can remember Harrison talking. He used to take such pride.
Harrison, yes, but it was James who took the largest interest in pine leather work. He used to love it.
That's right, James did. I wonder if he could again. The tannery is James, and James is a tannery, and nothing should have been allowed to interfere with that. And you shouldn't have let it if you have the concern for the man that you say you have. Now, I say, suggest to James that the tannery needs his full attention, that its preservation is the most important thing of all. Well, it would be nice if you said that to him, John.
James is not a child.
No, he's a man. A good, hard... This factory isn't for anyone if it isn't for James Sturgis, first of all, without whom we wouldn't have done so well. You run the factory, John, and let James run the tannery. But they must be divided.
Nonsense, I'm sorry. There are many benefits to keeping it together. As a unit, we create a very solid and substantial impression to the outside.
I can remember when you wouldn't have been concerned with the outside.
This is business. We grow or shrink from this.
Or stay as we are.
That's all I've heard. You don't understand. How often have I explained it?
Yes, explain it to me, John. You have to explain everything to me these days.
I know how awful it sounds. But James could do very well by spending the rest of his life at an empty desk because of the factory. Now, that's not a bad way to live.
That's a dreadful way to live. You should be ashamed of yourself for even mentioning it. Yes, that's what I said.
Please, Clara. Before this becomes a real problem for us.
I can't help that now. Things have changed, or haven't you noticed? I wake up angry every morning as if I'm keeping myself on guard even when I'm asleep.
It's understandable. It's because you've lost your mother.
Yes, she's partly the cause of it. When she was here, she said she had nothing at all to forgive me because we'd been apart such a long time. She said we were not alike in any way. I cried and wondered how she could say such a thing to me so easily. And now I understand it was the truth. And nothing to be afraid of. I'm like her now. I know it. And I've been this way since she died. I've never felt so sure of anything. And nothing, not even Lizzie's wild celery sedatives could calm me now.
I see.
And James?
Things will stay as they are.
I think that they should be divided.
But why? What would be the advantage of it?
Well, it would give James a purpose again.
Well, if we do separate from the factory and are completely on our own again, what a terrible not knowing.
But we never can know, can we? At your age, at mine, the children's. Independence is not unhealthy. I feel lighter just thinking about it. That's it, you see. We mustn't hug so close to the road.
I think you should think about this more carefully, Clara.
Clara, there's no time. We're going to try it, Mother Sturgis. We're going to try a lot of things.
What about John? What does he feel about it?
John is dead against it.
Would you mind explaining all this to me again?
Well, I think it's responsible. Miss Hopper.
Oh, hello.
When are you going to get out and about? We don't see anything of you.
I'm kept quite busy.
Yes, I've been hoping to find a reason just to come and chat for the longest time now. To make you feel at home and so on, but we generally miss each other.
Well, here I am.
Yes. And now I have nothing to say. Excuse me.
Huh? Oh, well, look who's here. Sorry, ladies, I run a respectable place.
Come over here, fool. We want to talk.
Go away, Nancy.
Edgar, we need your help.
I'm worried about James. I say I'm worried about James.
What are you doing there?
My hands aren't cold anymore. What's this, stew?
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to eat in here and have nothing to do with the people, you hear?
The people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, them. Look, don't fret. I'm a well-brought-up girl. I got manners. I know the way it's got to be.
Are you sure? Miss Edgar, you keep moving around after something you ain't never going to get. You got plenty to be thankful for.
What have I got, Father? Look, I didn't mean that.
Nobody's ever said the things to me that you've said.
I know. I'm not saying them at you. I'm just saying them. You can put me down the track if you wanted to. Why don't you? Why do you have me around?
Maybe it's because you helped me remember I was here once.
Hello, James.
Good Lord. Mother, Edgar, Clara?
James? This fire's going out here?
Well, has something happened? Do you want me to do something?
A lot has happened, or will happen. And there is something for you to do. The factory is getting ahead of us, James. I don't know what's going on anymore, and I want to know. Now, here's what I think. The tannery...
The tannery? Yes. Yes, we should have looked after the old girl.
Now, if there was nothing in your way, no confusion, and our say was as strong today as it ever was, how would you like it to go?
It isn't.
But if there was a way, James, how would you want it to go?
Have you all been talking?
That we have.
I'd want it understood
Yes?
that I was not talked into anything. That I was not pushed or pulled in any direction but the direction that I want to go. That I want to go.
I would never expect you to do otherwise, James.
I'd want it. It can't be.
But you'd want it.
Yes?
Would you really, James?
Yes, Mother. I would.
So would I.
But we're outvoted, my dear.
No. No.
Women. John will control her vote.
James? It's still my vote.
Well, it's a fairly large shipment, Sam. It could take the better part of a day.
Well, it's all the same to me. It'll get done.
Yes, but I want 3 if you want it.
There's no need for that. I can manage on my own.
I'm sure you can, but I want 3 on it.
Well, Mr. Sturgis, hello.
Well, James, I'm only trying to save an hour, maybe 2.
John. Well, you won't, I can tell you that. 3 of us will just get in each other's way.
John.
Yes, James. Are you trying to tell me that you can do it? I can't have a 3-way conversation, James.
Just a minute, Sam. Sorry, Sam. Now there's only a 2-way conversation.
Poor Sam. All right, James, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to...
While I've got you here, sign these papers, would you?
What are they for? The factory or the tannery?
Factory, why?
No good, then. I'm not signing for the factory anymore. I'm the tannery. That's what I am. Brubaker in Buffalo. I'll run him over to Clara to sign.
What's the matter with you, for heaven's sake? Why should I send them down there, over to Clara, when you're standing right here in the factory?
No, I'm not. I'm standing in the tannery. This is tannery property I'm standing in. Yeah, I remember this very board.
Explain it to me, James. Why are you behaving like this?
Well, I'm Just remembering how it all got started, John.
Go on.
The fine work, designs and all. Father's own handiwork. Now, the women are talking about separating the tannery from the factory, but I realize that's not practical. We've gone too far for that.
We have indeed.
Yes, well, I want to start up again. The best of the old ways. The stuff we're sure of. The stuff that's needed. The stuff that's wanted. Quality work. I just remembered that quite a few of the old gang left. There's Holly, Billy Owen, Delaney, Sam there. Yeah, and a few more that will come back to life with a chance.
I don't think so. I don't see how we can. And I don't even want to think about it.
We do. My mother and myself. We have a say.
A say, yes. I agree, of course. But at the moment, the tannery is almost completely run by the profits of bootmaking. And it must be governed by that to a large extent. Now, this is no time to splinter our efforts, because it's just not sensible.
It never will be from your point of view, I suppose. But as far as we're concerned, there's no better time. Why, we still have the people to start up again. So I said to myself, why don't we? Open up the old...
No. We have quite enough trouble keeping up with the demand as it is. I don't want any part of it.
I don't recall asking you to be. Now, while you're guaranteeing the year's profit, I'm going to start up again at the other end. Now, you can run the factory just as you please. But I'll be right alongside you with finer work, more pleasurable work, as it should be. Here, look. You people are not designing. You sew it all together and it stays that way. That's all you're interested in. But I've got something better, and I know it.
No, James. And I don't want to discuss it.
I want the old workshop opened up again. I want a hand-picked team of men, Sam the foreman, 3 of the Irish girls, my choice. And I want starters' wages from a joint tannery factory account for a period of not less than 12 months, or as long as it takes till it gets really moving, at which point we'll work from our own independent financial base again.
You surprise me, you really do.
I suppose I do, but that's it.
Well, it just can't be, James. Well, there are other shareholders to be considered. There's Brubaker, myself, Clara.
I see. Well, Mr. Brubaker doesn't have me worried. But if I were you, I'd speak to Clara before you use our vote again.
And?
And?
We had a talk, you said.
Yes, we might as well get on with it. James was beginning to think his life was over. Can't you see this is a wonderful idea?
In the opinion of you and Lizzie, those 2 great business minds.
Now, you're not to laugh at us, John. This time we're right.
Poor James. He'll be outvoted.
Really, John?
Certainly. There are 5 members on the board. James and Lizzie are in favor of the split, Brubaker and myself against.
That means that I have the casting vote. The way I did when the decision on the merger was made and I was away in Ottawa.
Beg pardon?
My original vote. The one we so badly needed when the Buffalo Man came into our lives.
And you gave me permission to use that vote.
I don't remember.
Clara, of course you do, for heaven's sake, before you left.
Did I?
You've never taken any interest in business.
Well, I have to now. Some of my other... I think that we should do what's best for James.
This is your way of paying me back for Buffalo.
Buffalo? I have no interest in Buffalo.
Next, keep the lights on and spend some time with the master of the macabre. Take a trip into the realm of mystery and suspense on Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Next, only on Showcase. Viewer discretion is advised.
As I return to yesterday, I see soft, downy summertimes for me to cling to. I'll journey to our garden if I may, where friends with loving ways will be for me to sing to. But if they are not the same as I've known them, still I would have all that I would need. Come tell of days so fine and oh so fair, once more to love again and all forgiving, of one with shining eyes and tender years, whom I'll be holding to my heart and never leaving.